obsession.
Lonzo Ball and the Ball family.
So happy you asked me about this.
Okay, cool. So I just want to get some of your thoughts on that.
Couple things. First things. Do you remember the interview where LeVar Ball said that his son was better than Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard that interview a lot?
Yeah.
That's me asking him that question.
Okay.
So
shout out.
Shout out to that question.
So
what'd you ask him?
I asked him. I saw this video on YouTube, and the video said that Lonzo Ball was a 6'5" Steph Curry with athleticism. Mm-hmm. So I asked him straight up, very innocuously, just a throwaway question, just like, "Yo, do you think that your son can be as good as Steph Curry?" He said, "No, my son's gonna be better than Steph Curry."
Wow, that was a sound that's rang the world.
Let me tell you something about this man. I think that I want Lonzo Ball to succeed more than any other professional athlete that I've ever come to. I can't express to you how much, because
where do you want him to go?
It doesn't matter, but I want him to come to. I want him to average 95 points and 45 assists.
Anywhere he goes.
Anywhere that he goes.
For the Clippers.
I'm saying, do you think he should go to the Lakers?
He probably will get drafted to the Lakers. There's some talk that the Lakers are maybe going to draft Josh Jackson now, but I just want him to be a success, and I'll tell you why. This whole situation with them, I'm about to get a little in the weeds here, really tells me something about human nature, because human beings have to struggle so much to be great, right? We have to struggle so much. Society doesn't want you to be great. Society wants you to be a consumer. They want you to be another person, like punching the clock. But by the same token, we only respect people that don't do that. Mm-hmm. So when you have the Ball family come along, two things get me. One about LeVar. LeVar is maniacal about his sons, right? Mm-hmm. And it's obvious if you talk to the kids. The kids are completely well-adjusted. They're having so much fun, and I've spoken with them. Okay. They're having so much fun. They are in that interview where I was talking about Melo. Melo comes into the interview, and you can tell he's just so elated to be on television. He's calling me sir. They're very respectful. They're good students and all of that. He's a good father.
So why does he get so much flack?
He's abrasive.
There's a couple things why. Number one is because he's unapologetic. He likes the spotlight. And number two, and then number three is because he's black.
Mm-hmm. And full of hyperbole too.
And he's full of hyperbole, and some of this stuff is way too much. But the reason why I say that is because LeVar Ball comes out and he says, "Yo, I don't want to be an employee of a shoe company. I want to have my own shoe company. I want somebody to partner with me." Let's say that that's a ridiculous idea. Let's say that idea is so beyond the pale. Right? You know what else was in that ridiculous idea? For a person to have their own computer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like when Apple was first getting popping, they thought it was totally stupid for a person. What does a person need with a computer? Steve Jobs goes, "You know what? One day, everybody's going to have a computer." Mm-hmm. And he goes, not only are they going to have computers, they're going to have little bitty computers that go inside of their pockets where you can do everything on it. Okay? And if that doesn't work out, and it never ever happens, who cares? But what if it does work?
Then it changes the world.
Right. Yeah. So to me, if you don't like LeVar Ball because he said he could be Michael Jordan in a one-on-one basketball game, if you don't like LeVar Ball because you think that he's over-involved in or coming up, all fair criticisms. But if you don't like LeVar Ball because LeVar Ball has refused the status quo,
right.
That tells you more about yourself than it does about LeVar Ball. If you don't like LeVar Ball and the Ball family because LeVar Ball believes in his son enough to think that he's worth $1 billion, you should look at yourself and ask you how much you think you're worth.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? Now, if it fails, cool. If this doesn't work, if the shoot thing doesn't work, and Lonzo plays well, he can come back and get a deal with Nike. Nike ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But if it does work,
you know how mad LeBron will be?
And
I feel like he has a 1 in 3 chance because I feel like technically if he has one of his sons who potentially could be superstars, like if you have a superstar son and then you just got other sons that are just like kind of role players in the league, like that is just going to be a dynasty in itself. because what I'm saying is in those scenarios, like you got Steph Curry and then you got Seth Curry.
Right.
Seth Curry is getting a lot of opportunities because of Steph. So Steph is a superstar, right? But the thing is
same thing with Lonzo. Like to a large degree, I mean Melo can go, but and Jello can too.
But they say Jello would be like a D2 really.
Right. Jello might not be it now. That's not to say Jello can't play. Jello
he's shooting it from out there.
Jello can really play, but
he's a guard though.
It's a situation to where if you want Lonzo Ball and the other two kids want to commit to UCLA probably takes all three of them. But I get what you're saying. It's interesting to me how fearful people are of doing things differently, of taking a risk
and supporting black people. When he said if Gucci made it, you'd buy it. And if I had enough money to buy the shoe, I would, because he's black.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy Apple. I'm gonna go buy any other phone. I'm gonna go pay $300 for whatever, $200 from shoes that for some white person made or whatever. Just because they said it's the same thing with Tidal. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad. Jay-Z is like, well, you paying everything else for everything else. You know what I'm saying? So don't get mad at the fee when I'm paying you more to the cent of your dollar for your music.
And this is a fundamental issue that we have as a community. Like. It's a weird thing that all of our aspirations have to do with things that exist outside of our culture.
Our exclusive moral to the story.
You don't get a the moral of the story.
I got your back. They can be a little abusive.
So are you going to get those new Lonzo shoes? What about those?
No.
I shop at Kohl's, bro. I don't even know.
$40, $95.
You haven't even shot a basket in the NBA yet, and you're charging kids $500 for shoes.
Hey,
$1,000 if they want your signature.
If I was rich, I'd buy
$220 for a slip. Jordan don't even. What?
If I was rich, I'd buy them.
You haven't even played yet. You haven't even been drafted. You haven't even dribbled.
A lot of these owners.
I don't like Jordan, and I bought his.
Like yesterday.
A lot of these owners don't even know the rules to basketball, but they sell $1,000 tickets.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
I buy Apple phones, and that's some white dude.
His father is gonna mess up his bag, I believe,
well,
and I believe he's gonna get to the league.
If I was rich and I had the money, I'd buy it. He's black. I support him.
I mean,
I support the black father.
Well, if
I was rich, that's the people he's aiming toward. If I was rich, I'd buy them.
There's a lot of other kids who look up to him who can't afford his shoes.
Okay, but this isn't about.
But he's supposed to be.
It's a lot of people that couldn't afford Jordans for the longest. It's people dying behind Jordans.
I mean, period. The fact of the matter is, it's about a market. It's definitely about a market, and if the market will pay for it, if the market will purchase it, it's not about what it is or what it's not. The fact of the matter is, I remember the owner of Louis Vuitton saying something like, Louis Vuitton never goes on sale because its values never drops. You know, it's never. So how can you right? All right, this is what it is. What they feel is valued at, and if people are buying it, the only people who got a problem with it is the people who can't afford it.
Like me.
You know,
we went to go see Bag Lady at the end of her show. She had on red bottoms. You know
why he got that little fast, nice looking Lamborghini? He don't need that because he can afford it and he wants it, and because you can't get it. And a lot of people pay for things that are exclusive, or we like to get things that other people don't have. That is human correspondence. We like to feel like we're an individual, even if it's pseudo individualism. We still like to feel it. So a lot of times, money creates that separation for us, and we like to use it to separate ourselves. And they
bet on. And the thing that I like the most is that him and his family is betting on themselves.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I will say.
And
that's the biggest
thing. Picture of it. It's not so much about what they are. It's what he's doing. Because if it works,
he owns
I still don't believe he should be charging them.
Because if it works, I'll tell you this much.
I tell you who's not buying them.
I hear y'all. That's nice. I still don't believe he should be charging them.
Right. I think it's stupid for him too.
Mine not going.
But if I was rich, since I'm not rich, I can't afford them. I can't buy them.
And guess who's not buying them? The people you talking about who can't afford them, which is majority black people. So if he's taking quote unquote white dollars and putting them into a black family, why the hell are we even tripping if that's the case?
Because we buy Jordans and can't afford them.
Yeah, I mean, and Jordan don't even get most of that money on top of that. So, you know, the reality is the black people are the number one consumers. So if we decide not to consume something and that money is coming from another culture, I mean, I think that we should just
embrace it.
Embrace
the entrepreneur.
Because he don't get the majority of those proceeds.
I feel like people need
none of us are here buying them.
Just embrace the fact that we're all witnessing something as a young black father, as an entrepreneur, and he's building this blueprint regardless of if
his wife is white though.
Well, he's a black father. So anyway,
She's
I just want to see. I just want to see if anybody's gonna respond. That's all.
No,
Well, anyway.
she's just never around.
I was about to say, Lakeisha, she was about to be like, "Yep." See what I'm saying?
so anyways,
See what I'm saying? Can't trust him.
The moral
Ain't
of the
loyal.
story
There they go.
is-
he's an entrepreneur.
Ain't loyal.
And he's creating a blueprint that
Yes.
a lot of people that if it works, regardless of if it works or not, he just
already works.
He said, he's already set
Made
the
money.
works. So if this thing, all he needs is one of his kids, one of these 3 special kids to
Take off.
become a superstar. And
Got a 1 in
his
3
brand is just going to be solidified into the NBA world, in the basketball world.
Period.
And I mean, to me, a lot of people, regardless of what they're saying in the media or whatever, they wish they would have did that. LeBron, Steph Curry actually has equity in Under Armour.
I know he had a big deal with them.
He has equity because he could have went with Nike and got a payout, but he wanted to work with somebody that he has equity.
Longevity.
And that's the whole thing. When you're an athlete, you're a superstar athlete, you got this
You're a
once in a
brand.
lifetime talent, you got to take that to the fullest extent. You don't want to just be like, oh, I got a check from Nike, because all these people that you see on these commercials, all they get, they're hired labor. If they get hurt, if they numbers go down, you see this Paul George commercial where he's like, he's
The last
shooting
shot.
the game with a shot, and guess what?
He got that exact moment. And suck.
He ain't gonna make. He probably ain't doing that Gatorade commercial next year.
Ever
You
again.
know?
Hey, they memed him
what
right
I'm
after that.
saying?
Just-
Exactly. So just to say, now this man got equity in your own company, your own brand. You ain't relying on some corporation to come in and.
I like it. I think he's taking somewhat of like a Kanye approach with it, you know. And I think a lot of people think Kanye is crazy. And for the first time, me and Rob was talking about earlier. I was listening to Steve Stout. You're familiar with him, and he does like a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
mark-
culture vulture, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. He wrote that book, The Tanning of America.
Oh yeah.
And but he's really into the marketing, especially with a lot of athletes and famous people. And he's just talking about, I mean, this is how it works. You know, big companies and you sell them to big companies. He was talking kind of about how he got that Sprite and that Drake deal put together. He talked a little bit about that, which was so interesting. You would never think like that somebody else had put that deal together, and he's that good at putting deals together.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter, like you said, it is a deal. And when you sign that deal, you do sign up. Like you sign up for this money, you're going to do this work for this money. And you got to stay within these confines as well of this money. And he was talking about how Rick Ross got dropped from Reebok because it wasn't
One
in
line in a song.
it wasn't in a clause, to say, hey, you know, even though you're a rapper, you can't say this. So now that's actually taken away from your whole entire art. You can't even be what
Who
it
you
is that
wanna
got
be.
you here or who you want to be because of what happens with this money. I think that now Lonzo he's not going to have that pressure because he has his own brand. It's already made money. He's going to make millions regardless. He's going to get other endorsements too. We're just talking about a shoe deal. We're not talking about everything. We're not talking about Gatorade, Sprite, Icy Hot, whatever the hell else comes. Yeah, we're not talking about none of that. We're talking about specifically shoes. We're talking about products.
Yeah,
We're
look
talking
at
about
Shaq.
specific
Shaq
products.
put
I
his
ain't mad
face
at
on
that.
everything.
Man, Shaq.
Shaq, you know what Shaq
is
did?
on
Shaq ain't
all
watching
of
no
them
weight.
things
You know what?
just-
You know what Shaq did when he, earlier in his career. He actually, he says the worst mistake that he made was he had a chance to buy in the first Starbucks, and he said he was like, black people don't drink coffee. And he says that was like
Black
the
people
worst.
love Starbucks. What?
Yeah, they love Starbucks because it's
Yeah, it ain't
Starbucks.
more than
Now,
coffee.
but I'm saying it wasn't
They like them
Starbucks at the time.
refreshers.
No,
But I'm
my
saying
parents drink coffee.
no, I know, but I'm saying he said it was the worst. It was
They don't
it
drink
was,
Starbucks, though.
It was retro. You know,
Yeah,
obviously
Folgers in
retrospect
our
is 2020, but
Yeah.
he definitely felt. And so now you see Shaq. He got a general insurance commercial.
Huge.
You know what I'm saying?
Best car
But I'm just-
insurance rate in town. Call 1-800. You know
Hey, no,
Call
wait.
Shaq.
They need to give us a check before you give them their commercials.
just saying.
I know. But,
Kazam.
but he does everything.
Come on, man. Shaq
But-
Fu?
Yeah, but he
played Shaq
He
Fu.
don't turn down no checks now after he messed up that one endorsement because that would have been the one that he was like that would have just he probably wouldn't have been doing half the stuff he's doing now if he would have just had that Starbucks money.
Yeah.
You know, but
Magic
just-
Johnson is a good example.
Yeah.
Coffee would've woke him up.
He invested a whole bunch of money into a bunch, businesses and stuff, and obviously he flourished. His contract was only $1 million a year. Magic Johnson's contract was $1 million a year, but look what he was able to do by just making smart,
You can
financial
do
investments.
anything if Magic made it.
So yeah,
Sugarfoot. Give us your final thoughts and comments.
Love Session.